Hello. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the next set of interviews in this whole interview series of success stories. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Shelley Shulman, and I am Lisa's business development manager, and I am the membership manager of her membership. You Can Sit With Us. So, a very varied role I do have. But this evening, I am here with Mel Ritchie to talk all about her success story, following on from the Race to Recurring Revenue Challenge and following on from One to Many. And so, Mel, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell us what you were doing before Lisa, should we say?
Yeah. So I'm Mel. I am a qualified solicitor. So my job before Lisa, and in fact now for the next 2 weeks, I'm in my notice period, is I'm a senior associate solicitor. I do tax, so something completely different to what I ended up doing. And I just came across the challenge by chance, really. I wasn't doing it for any reason related to my job, but yeah, that's me in a previous life.
Wow. So a trained solicitor.
Yeah.
Which is it's such a almost like a unique thing, isn't it? And people think, well, how could a solicitor make recurring revenue? What is it they can do to add different income streams in it? It's one of those where you feel it is very much one-to-one. It's very much time for money.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I've ended up doing isn't related to that. I think that solicitors absolutely can do that. Yeah. And there are sort of ways that I could imagine doing that with the role that I had before. But for me, I didn't really want to go back to work in that really kind of corporate job after maternity leave. So when I did One to Many, I was on maternity leave, and then immediately after that was lockdown. So it was like I had maternity leave, and then obviously we had like the 2 years. It was 2 years, wasn't it? felt like 300 years. Just lose track. And kind of going back into that world just wasn't really for me. So it was quite timely. But I, on the side, had been doing like interior stuff on Instagram, and I'd grown an audience there. So when I came into One to Many, I was thinking about how I could do something that would be related to my job, my solicitor job. But actually, I came away from it doing something completely different. So I think that's kind of the beauty of it, though, isn't it?
It is, and it's what a lot of people do. And I think Lisa did address it this morning on the challenge when she said some people will come in and get halfway through and decide that it's not what they want to do. They want to do something else. People will change their mind halfway through, and it will get people thinking outside of the box as well, and thinking about things that they hadn't already considered. So you've said now that you're in your 2 weeks notice periods.
Yeah, exactly. So it's amazing. And it's really nice because it wasn't like, I mean, I earned a lot of money, but it wasn't serving me as like a job. I was pretty miserable, and it was quite a drain on my mental health. I didn't really get to spend any time with my family. So obviously, like I say, I was on maternity leave. My son's 3 now, he's just turned 3, and I would have been getting home at 8 o'clock at night when he'd already been in bed and all of that sort of stuff. So it's kind of created that freedom.
Yeah, well. And it's the freedom lifestyle that a lot of people, we do want, don't we? So since taking part in One to Many, how much money have you made?
So I started my coaching, basically. It's Instagram coaching and helping people grow and monetize on Instagram. And that is the bulk of where I've made the money. So all over the last couple of, I was going to say last couple of 100 years then, over the last couple of years since I've done it, I'm just reaching £100,000 now. So it has as good as replaced my salary. That's while I was continuing to work as well. And that was a mix of the coaching and the course that I created off the back of One to Many. But it also kind of just created a bit of a snowball effect of like believing that I could earn more. And so I started doing more Instagram collaborations and that kind of thing, and taking that job seriously. So yeah, it's led to just under £100,000 in that time.
That's amazing. And it does open a lot of doors, doesn't it? Like you say, it's you've not done the same as your solicitors. It's opened doors in other ways.
Absolutely.
Connections. And that's It's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Definitely. Like, it'd be a complete career change for me, because I'm obviously doing that side, but I've also signed up to do an interior design degree, which I wouldn't have been able to pay for if it hadn't have been for like that income that was coming in. So, you know, and that was always a dream for me. I always wanted to do it, and just became a lawyer because, you know, get a proper job and all the rest of it. And it's, you know, so coming on 40 and able to do the thing that I want to do, it's really exciting.
I think a lot of us are from that generation, aren't they, of parents that were always telling us to get a proper job. I know when I had my business, and you know, I was trying to explain to my dad what it was I do, and he was like, "I just think you play on Facebook all day and get paid for it." And I was like, "Well, I kind of do, but I don't know how to explain it in other ways." Whereas he was very much from the generation of, you know, that was his job. He was in the same career from the moment he left school to when he left. And even now I work with Lisa, I still don't think he completely understands what it is I do. He just feels content that I'm not self-employed, weirdly. Like you say, it is that, you know, looking outside of that box, isn't it? And thinking outside of the box and doing all of those different things, which is what the challenge is.
And also, I think, like, believing that you can just do something that you enjoy doing for a job. I think that's like quite a big hurdle, isn't it? People don't really believe that you can get paid to do something you actually enjoy doing. It feels almost like a cheats way.
It does, doesn't it? And people always say, it's weird because people do say, and I'm just like, but I love what I do. I loved when I was self-employed. I loved what I did. And I think that is the, you know, one of the great things about doing something that you're really, really passionate about. And I've seen a couple of questions in the challenge group that say, well, I've got lots of ideas. What one do I do? Well, what one excites you the most? Because whatever excites you the most will be the one that you put the most effort and the most passion into.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. So what would be your one piece of advice right now for people who are taking part in the challenge, obviously for people who are thinking about doing one-to-many going forward? What would be your one big bit of advice?
So for me, it's definitely I think you need to think about like what will change, because I think a lot of the time we're kind of like anxious. Well, you're in your comfort zone, aren't you? And you don't like pushing out of it. And so you kind of like come up with all sorts of reasons not to do something. And so for me, I just ask myself, what will change if I don't do it? Probably nothing. But what could change if I do it? And like, you know, like me or like lots of other people, you could end up a couple of years down the line working your notice period and, you know, ready to go into something new.
This, or closing your business completely and going and working for somebody else, which is
well, exactly. But it's, you know, I think it was just, you know, I came away from Race to Recurring Revenue and I immediately made like £3,500 just off of that from my idea. I just put it into action. And it kind of started a bit of a snowball because, you know, it was like, oh, okay, actually, I have got something to offer. It's that it creates that like belief, doesn't it, that you can do it. And now it's really nice because I see people that I've worked with over the past couple of years having got to the point that they wanted to be at. And you think, okay, it was valuable. What I wanted to do was more important than tax.
And the thing is, like, taking action is key, and we've said it a couple of times. You know, it's really easy to get stuck and not do something, but just by taking action on the challenge alone, you made £3,500. And I think that's what people. It doesn't need to be as complicated as people think it is. You know, it's really not complicated at all. But it is just sometimes about pushing yourself out your comfort zone and going for it, because there are people out there who want the knowledge that you've had. Lisa said it plenty of times. If anybody's ever said, can I pick your brain? That's exactly what it is that you can do.
That's exactly it. And that course, like that one that I launched off of the back of Race Recurring Revenue, is the same course that I do now. I've just kind of like tweaked it and really sort of, you know, grown it over the last couple of years. And it's like I make an extra zero on the end now from it. So it's just so worth it. Like in 2 years, it's amazing, really.
This is the thing. I mean, to me, I would say get to the end of the 4 days. What's the worst that could happen if you took action on the steps that Lisa's given you? What is the very worst that can happen?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think, and I think if like people do stop and ask that question, because I do it to myself sometimes, you know, like I'm all about the mindset stuff these days, but it is that kind of like, okay, if I don't do it, what will change? If I do it, what could change? You know, it's you've got to just take the action, haven't you? Like you say, and yeah, you have to put work in, but if you're doing something you enjoy,
It's
that's
not
kind
work.
of like, yeah.
Work,
I mean,
does it?
I basically turned what I was doing anyway, like as a hobby, into something I was getting paid for. So,
and that's
a
the great
thing, really.
That is the great thing. You can get so much joy from it, and it's been really lovely to hear about your journey. You know, and the fact that obviously you have had monetary success, but obviously you've got the time now to spend with your little one, which is also something that we all want, because we've got a lot of balls that we're all juggling, and we want to try and live the lifestyle that is right for us, not necessarily the lifestyle that we see on the TV or portrayed to us in any other way, but what is right for us as an individual, and only we know what will look like.
Yeah, exactly. And that all of those things matter, and it's, I think that we ultimately make our own luck, and you get what you put in, don't you? And I think if I came into like Race Recurring Revenue with absolutely no idea what I was going to do, which is exactly the case, thinking that I could potentially do something with legal stuff, and came out of it a couple of years later doing something completely different, handing my notice. And that was a big deal for me, to do that. After, it takes a long time to become a lawyer, and it's one of those kind of things that you feel like you can't walk away from it. But actually, like, the reception I got from people around me was like, good on you.
Yeah. How long have you been a lawyer for?
So I'm 7 years qualified. Wow. And then before that I was working in like legal spaces.
A lot of time to sometimes walk away from, isn't it? And I think there is that, wow, you're walking away from something, and there is kind of like the opinions of other people. I know obviously when I closed my business, I'd had it for 16 years. People are like, what are you doing? But sometimes taking that leap of faith is what's needed, and stepping out of your comfort zone and just doing something. I mean, actually, this is what I want to do. This is going to give me the life that I want to live.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, we can go and live abroad now, which is something that we couldn't do before. And, all these, it's just opened up so many opportunities beyond just the money,
Yes, I feel that 22 years as a physio, but need a change. I think one of the biggest things for me was, obviously before everything, I was a wedding cake maker. And what was really, really difficult for me was, obviously I had 2 children. So technically I had to take holidays in the summer holidays.
Yeah.
But also if I took holidays in the summer holidays, I was walking away from a lot of money, because that was my busiest period. And so, like you say, now we can go and work from anywhere. We're not tied down to anything. I can go and do things on a Saturday night, because I don't have to go and deliver a wedding cake, that kind of thing. And it's those little things that can make the biggest difference. And sometimes you don't realise we're on that hamster wheel so much that we don't realise how much we don't like it.
Yeah, I know. I think lockdown was the real turning point for a lot of people, because I mean, I was commuting 2 hours to work every day there and back, and I'm thinking about that now. I'm like, what on earth? Like, why did I ever do that? It seems bad to me that I would actually be all right with that, and pay for it as well. It's just sort of like,
it does, doesn't it? It's like, because I obviously had to have wedding cakes to make during lockdown, so it was a bit like, wow. Oh, toddler's there.
Yeah.
That's all right. But I didn't have wedding cakes to make, and I was like, I don't actually enjoy doing this, so why am I? Let's look at what I do actually want to do and what to enjoy.
Yeah.
Miss Dio said the previous life. Yes, it was a previous life. Hello.
There we go. See,
and we do it for them, don't we? That's what we do.
No, exactly, and it makes it worth it.
It does, doesn't it? It really, really does. The fact that we have time to spend doing the things that we actually want to do. Well, it was lovely to chat with you, and I do hope that people have enjoyed that chat. If people want to find out more about you, Mel, and what it is you do and everything else, where can they find you?
Best place to find me is my Facebook group called the Accidental Influencers Club. Should be able to just search that. Yep, everyone, if you've got any kind of social media presence, you are an influencer. So that's what I'm all about.
It's true, isn't it? We are, and I'm easily influenced as well. I am easily influenced.
It's been lovely to talk to you, Shelley. Thank you so much for having me.
been lovely to chat to you too. There are more interviews coming tomorrow, so do make sure that you. Oh, pardon my dog. So do make sure that you are keeping up with those. And tomorrow is day 3 of the challenge, so more exciting things to come. So I will see you in the challenge group.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.